Guys, it's Joanie from simplelivingmama.com, and today I am coming at you with just a little chat. I've got my coffee here and I want to talk about the past homeschool year. I want to tell you guys what we did, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, and all of that, especially as a large homeschool family. So, we have to work things out a little bit differently than other people. If you're brand new to my channel, my name's Joanie. I'm a mom to 6 kids, ages 1 up to 10. So they're all elementary and younger. I've got 2 preschoolers and a toddler. And then I have a child that's going into 1st grade, a child that's going into 3rd grade, and a child that's going into 5th grade. I started homeschooling when that child who's going into 5th grade was in kindergarten, and really even before then. I've been researching homeschooling since he was 2, way before I became a large family mom. So homeschooling is something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that I've just been learning on my own through trial and error. And I love to help other moms and share with them what's working, what doesn't work. Because, when I started homeschooling, there was a lot less out there in social media and stuff. There was some things, which is why I started homeschooling in the first place. But, now there's a lot more of us out there sharing what we do. And I think that's wonderful. I think that it's great to bring homeschooling to the forefront. It's not something that we do behind closed doors. It's not something that we do as weirdos, and our kids never leave the house, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's great that the homeschool community is growing so much and that there are so many moms that are willing to share about their experiences. So to get started, I'm going to talk about our homeschool year. So this was the first official homeschool year that we didn't have a huge life change going on. Since my oldest was in kindergarten, we have either moved or added a baby or both during our homeschool year, which if you've done those things while homeschooling, then you know that definitely puts a kink into the homeschool plans, and you've got to change things around, and you're probably not going to be able to do all the things that you want to do. So this was the first homeschool year. We didn't have any major things going on, and I was very thankful for that because I feel like it was the best homeschool year we've had because we were just able to concentrate on homeschooling. So we are what I would consider a my father's world family. Although I don't use it exclusively anymore. When I first started, all I used was my father's world. And then when my daughter started school, I didn't use my father's world kindergarten with her. I sort of did my own thing with phonics and handwriting and math and all of that. And then this year, when my 3rd child became an official schooler and we started doing kindergarten work with him, I really added in a lot of the good and the beautiful. So let me go back just a few steps and talk about morning time, and then I'll get into all of the individual subjects. So started doing morning basket. I probably started doing that last year. And while we use my father's world for a lot of things, I am very Charlotte Mason inspired. We also have some classical thrown in. I guess you could say we're eclectic, but with a heavy bent towards Charlotte Mason homeschooling. So I wanted to use our morning basket time as a time to do picture study, poetry study, learning about composers, all of that stuff. So I was kind of trying to piece things together for myself. And then I discovered the Homeschool Garden, which does all of that for you and gives you everything that you need. You don't have to buy anything extra. And we started using that, and that has been amazing for our morning time. So it includes Shakespeare, it includes poetry study, composer study, picture study, an art lesson, nature cards, all kinds of awesome things. Of course, it's a digital product. I do it all on my laptop. Just bring my laptop over to the table in the morning and we go from there. I have printed, she does have printables for everything. So if you want to print your picture study artwork, if you want to print off your folk song or your hymn or whatever, you have that option too. And I've done both. So that is what we started doing for our morning time, and it has worked out wonderfully. I'm not going to change that at all. I love it. It's a great time for all of us to come together and, you know, do all those things that I've always wanted to do, and now I don't have to think about putting them together myself. So after that, we move into our Bible time, and this is where I get into My Father's World. So what I love about My Father's World is that it incorporates Bible right into the curriculum. This year we did My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures, and we walked through the book of Matthew, and we used the book Hero Tales, and we learned about different missionaries and all of that. So I just followed my lesson plan for Bible from My Father's World, and I did that during our morning time, and I have no plans whatsoever to change that. I love it. I love My Father's World, Bible, and history. So we are sticking with that, and that is what I'm going to be using next year as well, which I will do all of that in a different video so you guys can see what we're using, because it's going to be more than just My Father's World. So after that, then I do either history or science lesson. Now this is where I change things up. So I got to looking at the Good and the Beautiful science lessons, and I really liked how they were arranged. So the first one that I added into our homeschool was the safety unit. So I was doing the safety unit in addition to the science that was included with My Father's World, which was properties of ecosystems and the Living World Encyclopedia, and basically just doing a lot of notebooking with that. After we finished the safety unit, I got to where I decided I really didn't like properties of ecosystems. I was trying to do it with a second grader and a fourth grader, and I just didn't like it. It didn't really jive with them. So I kind of sort of dropped it. I still talked about ecosystems and biomes with the kids. I kind of used it as a guide, and we just talked very informally about the ecosystem and the biome of whichever country it was that we were studying with My Father's World. So we didn't do history this year. We did geography, learning about different countries and cultures. I highly recommend taking a year to do that with your kids if you can. Another thing I love about My Father's World is that I can combine most of my kids and teach them all together. So they don't have a separate social studies or a separate science. We just do it all together, like a little one-room schoolhouse. So yeah, we didn't care too much for the properties of ecosystems. One of my children really took an interest to bugs. So I decided to do the arthropods unit from the Good and the Beautiful. So that's what we did for our science, and I sort of switched out days. One day we would do geography, the next day we would do arthropods, and I discovered after using their safety unit and then the arthropods that I really like the Good and the Beautiful science units for the elementary ages. So yeah, we had a blast with that, and I was able to add in whatever resources I wanted to add, and it was pretty awesome. So we kind of dropped properties of ecosystems. We kept up with the Living World Encyclopedia, just looking at it and talking very informally. And then our science was actually arthropods and then marine biology. And that's what we are finishing up right now. So that's what we did all together. Now let me get into language arts, math, and all of that for the individual kids. So I started my oldest on the Good and the Beautiful language arts. That's how I came to the Good and the Beautiful to begin with. I started him on that last year, and it made such a difference in his reading ability, his ability to write sentences. I felt like he was understanding things a lot more. So I went all in with their language arts programs with all three of my kids. So my fourth grader was he was on level 2, and we ended up spending the entire year finishing level 2. He'll start level 3 for his 5th grade year. My second grader flew through level 1 like nobody's business. And then my kindergartner, I started him on the level K primer and then moved him into level K. Now, I wish that after I finished level K primer that I had just taken some time off and did Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons with him before starting level K, because level K is such a huge jump from level K primer that he is reading by sight. He's still having trouble sounding out and not really using phonics. Now, of course, the Good and the Beautiful uses phonics cards. Personally, they don't work for us. I don't know if we just have an aversion to flashcards or what, but we don't use the phonics cards that much. So, yeah, I stopped him in level K, and we're working on Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons and just doing some easy readers and stuff like that right now. And then we'll pick level K back up when we start 1st grade in August. Okay, so that's where we are. I still love the Good and the Beautiful. It's worked fantastically for my kids who were already reading when we came to the program. And just with my kindergartner, 1st grader, I feel like I'm having to do a little bit of extra work just to get him where he needs to be. Level K, they're expecting them to do spelling words. They're expecting them to do dictation. I don't do all of that with kids that are below 2nd grade. So I'm not having him do spelling lists and all of that stuff. I do know that they have changed level K. I don't know exactly what they've changed, but I do know that they have changed some things. So maybe they've improved upon that. I don't know. I'd have to look at the new level K. So let's move on to talking about handwriting. So for handwriting, we did the Good and the Beautiful all the way. Loved it. I'm trying to remember which levels. My 4th grader did level 4, my 2nd grader did level 2, and then my kindergartner, once they released their level K handwriting, I bought the PDF and I made a little PDF. I printed a workbook for him and made it myself because I did get him level 1, and I felt like for a kid who was just really beginning to learn to write, it was a little too much. So thankfully they made a level K handwriting, and that's what he's been working through, and it's been great. It's not just handwriting. They are also drawing, coloring, all of that stuff. So it's really cool, and it's working well for us. Okay, so let's talk about math. I'm teaching textbooks all the way for my oldest child. We started it last year, I think, and we've continued on with it. Excellent, works great for him. I started my 2nd grader going into 3rd grader in level 3 of teaching textbooks this year. We were using Math Mammoth. She didn't like it. So we just went with teaching textbooks, and it's gone a lot smoother for her. Now, teaching textbooks starts at level 3. So I had to figure out what I wanted to use for my kindergartner for math. And I really wanted to love Simply Charlotte Mason's Elementary Arithmetic, Book 1. Now, keep in mind, with the Charlotte Mason method, you don't start formal schooling until age 6. I have fall birthdays for all of my kids, so I have older kindergartners. So my child turned 6 pretty early on in the school year. I wanted so badly to love this program, but he did not. It just did not work for him. He was bored. He didn't want to sit for his lessons. It's just a book, and you do everything orally mostly, and they have a little notebook, and he didn't care for it. And so I said, you know what? I should have bought the Good and Beautiful's math level K. I should have done that. It looks like a lot of fun. So I did it. I went ahead and did it. almost halfway through the school year. And yeah, I should have done that to begin with, because now math is his favorite subject. I don't struggle to get him to sit down. He likes the engaging stories and the color pictures and all the manipulatives that come with it, all the colorful stuff. It works. So I'm sticking with the Good and Beautiful math for him. I have videos on level K and level 1, which he will be starting in first grade. And yeah, I should have just stuck to that to begin with. Now, nature study, I just did a video on our nature study and how we did it this year. I'll leave a link to that below. We're very informal when it comes to nature study. Let's see what else. Spanish. I started the year doing song school Spanish, and we just did not keep up with it. It was so hard to do with the toddlers. Every time I would try to turn on the DVDs, everybody would be going crazy, it seemed like. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stop this. So we didn't finish Spanish. I don't know what we're gonna do for Spanish. Mama Shmoo's Homeschool Reviews. I watched one of her recent videos, and she was talking about how her library has Rosetta Stone, free for patrons to use. So I looked into that. My library has it as well. So that is an option, something I'm looking into for us doing next year for Spanish. So yeah, that's where we're at with Spanish. Let's see what else. I've got to be forgetting some stuff. Extracurricular activities. We did a scripture class with some local homeschool friends. That was a lot of fun. And then the boys did Boy Scouts. We are a scouting family. It's an old tradition on my husband's side of the family. So that was fun. I went camping with them once. They went on a couple of camps, hiking, all that fun stuff with the scouts. They learn a lot of stuff. And then Awanas, we did that. And I wouldn't say that that was the most successful year, because I'm trying to figure out how to help them with their scripture memory when we're doing scripture memory with our curriculum. So I still haven't figured out how I'm wanting to do that and make that work. Do I just not expect them to memorize the scripture that we're learning in our homeschool and work more so on their Awana verses, which makes it more difficult because they're each doing different verses? I don't know. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to want to approach that this coming year, because it ends up being kind of a chaotic mess, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else. We didn't do an official art curriculum. We did some art projects with global art with My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures. And of course there's art lessons with the homeschool garden, and we've done some of those. Those are a lot of fun. So yeah, no official art, just, some things here and there. And I will say, with My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures, learning about a new country every 2 weeks, it was so much fun, you guys. We had so much fun. We tried different recipes, watched videos about the cultures, and it was an awesome year. So as far as that went, we didn't do any official history study. We just learned about different countries and cultures, did geography work, map work. It was fun. It was a great year for that. And I think that's about it. So yeah, I talked about what worked for us this year, what didn't work for us this year. You guys, I will be having the next video you'll be seeing from me should be about me putting together the kids' homeschool portfolios. And then I will have a video showing you guys what we're planning on using this coming school year. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll have a middle schooler. This will be my last year of kids in elementary and below, and then my oldest child will be moving up to middle school. So that's kind of overwhelming for me, but we'll make it work. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Like the video, I would appreciate it so much. Happy homeschooling. Bye.